Hey, and what's up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to check out the 120 centimeter aquarium behind me that I have set up 2 weeks ago. And there is something I have learned in 2020 which became my resolution for 2021. And this is not to wait a long time and then try to compress a lot of things into a single video. Instead, in 2021 I will try to take things easy. Tackle one topic at a time and create bite-sized sort of information chunks for you guys and take you with me along the ride, in this case with this 120 aquarium. So let's check out what it looks like 2 weeks after I have set it up, talk about all the wins and losses, the ups and downs. There were already quite a few in this short period of time, and also check out all the hardware I'm using on this aquarium, as well as see what the next steps are going to look like. So starting first is the 2 weeks update on this aquarium. It is looking quite good right now, I have to admit. It has looked worse about a week before with all the diatoms. This is when algae eaters have been added to the aquarium, and for this a big shout out to Herbert Nigel from Aquarium DIETZENBACH, which is a local wholesaler here near my place, for providing the shrimp and snail for this aquarium. And all the dealers watching this video, highly recommend you check out Aquarium DIETZENBACH. I will put a link down in the description below. Wholesale only, shipping in Europe. So I have added 20, 30, maybe 50 CLITHON Corona and Neorite snails. They are my favorite weapon against algae and diatoms. They keep the rocks super clean. And I also added a bunch of leopard tiger shrimps, I think that's the name. These guys have done an incredible job in cleaning the rocks. There is still some diatoms remaining on the plants, but I'm sure within maybe 1 week time from now, those diatoms will be gone. But there is also something else that will be probably gone in 1 week time from now, and this is the Hygrophila Araguaia. If you take a closer look, the one on the right side is almost completely dissolved and melted. The ones in the back and on the left side, they are struggling, they're partially melted, and there are 2 possible scenarios which could have caused the melt of the Hygrophila Araguaia. Scenario number 1 is I haven't done that many water changes in the beginning, and with plenty of soil, it is an active substrate. It is going to lower the water hardness and make the water more acidic. So maybe I had a pH drop down. So too little minerals in the water because the soil absorbed them with CO2 injection, or maybe with no CO2 injection, but just making the water more acidic from the soil itself. Potentially the water became too acidic, and this has caused the melting. Another scenario is when I do the water changes, I use reverse osmosis water, so I have to add the minerals back in. And I know I've done this in the past. I added the minerals while the water was still low instead of waiting until it's fully filled up. And yeah, when the water is low, you add the minerals. It's the other extreme. You have too many minerals in a too little amount of water. You have a too strong fluctuation in the opposite direction. And also the mineral salt contains some chemicals that help dissolve the minerals in the water. So usually I will dissolve the minerals in a bucket of water. I will wait until it's completely dissolved, until the chemical reaction has finished, and then toss it into the full aquarium of water. And what I have probably done, I haven't waited long enough, and I tossed the whole mix into the aquarium while the water was very low. So my fault. So lessons learned here, be careful with that in future. But on the opposite side, like I just said, the rocks are clean, the animals are doing fine. We see plenty of horizontal growth in Glossostigma, and my gosh, the Glossostigma is so tiny and so compact growing horizontally. I haven't had Glossostigma for a while, but from what I remember, it was growing a lot bigger. I don't know if there is a difference between TROPICA and Danila Glossostigma. I have no idea. I will find out in the future. Maybe I will make a test, put them in a tank and do a side-by-side comparison. But as I know, I've done videos at Green Aqua previously. There are same species like Rotala Green, like Hygrophila planetifida, that are called the same, but they are different species actually. and they're growing slightly different. So maybe it's the case here again with Glossostigma, I don't know. Maybe I will do a side-by-side test in the future. So we have some vertical shoots at the Glossostigma as well that is coming from the planting. Those are going to be trimmed back probably in a week time from now, and at that time I will also decide what to do with the Hygrophila Araguaia. Either it will stay and recover, or I will trim it back, just pull it out and replant with fresh Araguaia. And already looking forward to see a full Glossostigma carpet, I guess in a few weeks from now, maybe in one of the future videos. Well, you're gonna see that. So this is it for the quick update on the aquarium, what has been going on. I will dive deeper into all the water treatments I've been doing and the automation. I know in the past video a lot of you commented you would like to know more about the automation. There will be a separate video about that. In this video, let me just briefly cover all the hardware I use in this aquarium to give you like a wide and broad overview, and then I'm going to dive deeper into each of those elements in a separate video and explain why I use them, how to make the best use of it, how you can make more out of your filter, how you can pimp your filter, what is the benefit of this over the other item, etc. So starting first is the light. Already introduced that to you in the first making of a video. We have here the Twinstar 1200 SP, and Twinstar has been on the market for many years and is known to offer the best bang for the buck. This is the 1200 SP. It is as long as the aquarium is. It provides an even coverage of the aquarium, so it's evenly lit from left to right side. It is a full spectrum RGB light. The only downside of this light, I would say, is it is slightly more on the blue end of the spectrum, like a blue heavy. It has a little bit too much blue color in the spectrum, so I would wish to tweak it down. Unfortunately, that is not possible. However, this is the first model. I think it was even a prototype when I received it 2 years ago. But meanwhile, there is the second generation or third generation of this light available on the market, which have improved color spectrum, which is more natural. So check them out. I will put links down in the description below. By the way, everything I mentioned in this video, I will put links down in the description. The light is controlled by a little dimmer, a little control unit. I have a separate video on that, how to program it. This allows me to turn the light on and off, and also to program, a soft on and a soft off. If you want to know more about it, check out the video. I will link it in the description and somewhere up above here. And you can buy them for like $10–20 on Amazon, these little dimmers. They work with a myriad of all kind of brands if they have this DC AC connector. Next up is the filtration. For the filter, I'm using my trusty Oase 600 Thermo, and by the name you know, it has the heater built into the filter body, so this way it is removed from the aquarium and you don't need an inline heater, which is very bulky and oftentimes very difficult to implement. So I really like using the Oase filters. Not only they are the channel sponsor, but also the filters are great quality and also very affordable for that. They are thermo filters. There are not many thermo filter options on the market, and Oase is one of the most affordable ones. I like the build quality, the pre-filter is great, and simply a lot of other things about that filter, but there will be a specific video, like I just said, about the filtration, how I pimp that filter, how you can make more out of it, so look forward for that. Next, let's talk about the CO2. For the CO2 system, I'm using a pH-controlled CO2 pressurized CO2 system from GBL. It is called pH Touch. I really like using it. You set it up in a way that you tell it which KH, the carbonate hardness of the water you have, and what is your desired pH. And if you look on the cheat sheet here, you will see a certain KH and a pH that resonate in a certain CO2 level. So basically what you do, you have to check your KH with a drop test, and then you choose your desired CO2 level, which is ideally 20 to 30 milligrams per liter, and then it tells you which pH you need, and this is what you tell the computer, and then it does the job for you. It turns on and off the CO2 multiple times a day, during the night. You don't have to worry about it anymore, because through the correlation between the pH and KH, you always have a constant CO2 level in your aquarium. And I will dive deeper how to set it up, what are the differences compared to irregular CO2 system, maybe disadvantages to that system, I don't know, maybe we'll find out some in the deep dive version of the CO2 system video. Alongside with the CO2 system, I'm using the Aquario CO2 diffuser. This one creates very, very fine CO2 mist. And as it is attached right now, is literally quick and dirty. You can see there is way too much tubing, but it gets the job done. I'm very limited on time right now, so I get the CO2 pumped into my tank. I'm going to do it a little bit nicer in the future, or who knows, maybe just remove that diffuser from the aquarium altogether and use an inline diffuser. That would be an advantage of removing gear from the aquarium on one side. On the other side, I really like to have the diffuser in the aquarium. This way I can see the movement of the water. I can also talk about it more easily and explain CO2 injection into the aquarium. So I don't know, what are your thoughts? How do you like your CO2? Do you like an in-aquarium CO2 diffuser or one built into the filter outlet, aka inline CO2 diffuser? Let me know down below. Either way, the Aquario Neo Diffusor is a really great one. It's unbreakable, made from acrylic, and yeah, creates very, very fine CO2 mist. Last piece of hardware in this aquarium is the surface skimmer. Over here I'm using the EHEIM SKIM 350 with the original floating cap. I think I'm going to replace it with a custom 3D printed one to protect my shrimps and snails. I already removed the shrimps from the skimmer. Either way, the little skimmer, it skims the surface and it also helps me to create a circular flow, because I have the filter outflow here on the front right side of the aquarium and the skimmer sits on the back left side of the aquarium, this way creating a clockwise circulation in the aquarium, because this way nutrients and water and CO2 and all the wastes are distributed evenly, and yeah, flow is very important in the aquarium. So the skimmer is not only skimming the surface but also improves the circulation in the aquarium. So this is it on the hardware rundown on this aquarium. I haven't made any adjustments to the cabinet yet. It looks horrible, just everything tossed inside. I called it Yuri's cabinet OCD. That is one for a future video here. And now is your turn, guys. I have two questions for you beside the ones I already asked throughout the video. First, I would like to know which fish to add to this aquarium. I have one favorite myself. Let me know if you can guess which fish I'm thinking to add to this aquarium. The fish that goes inside has to fulfill two functions. First, it has to be a schooling fish. It is an iwagumi. I want a schooling fish. Somehow it should be a long linear body, or at least linear pattern of the fish, or like the coloration, so it fits the iwagumi style. And the second is, it should be a slightly larger fish. So please don't recommend red neon, you know, the cardinal tetra or something like that, small fish. No, I want fish that are a little bit bigger, like 5, maybe 7 centimeters in size, something bigger. My wife has requested a larger fish. It is a big tank, she wants a larger fish inside, and I promised to her I will put something bigger inside. No angelfish, no discus, nothing that grows crazy large, but I don't know, maybe raminos or something like that, something that goes into that direction, that grows a little bit bigger and fits the iwagumi style aquarium. And if you find out which fish I'm thinking of, you will receive a shout out in the next video. And then of course I talked about a lot of gear. I talked about filtration with built-in heater, I talked about the lighting, I talked about CO2 injection, and I teased and talked about the water treatment, all the water additives. Little spoiler here, using ADA Green BRIGHTY series on this aquarium. The reason for that is it is a Takashi Amano inspired iwagumi. I was heavily impressed on my 2017 Japan trip when I saw the iwagumis in the ADA Nature Aquarium Gallery with the tiny, super compact Glossostigma carpets. So I thought my best chances to achieve the same result is to use the same system. I know I use TROPICA soil, but in my opinion, quality soil remains quality soil, but then with the liquid fertilizer is the bigger difference, is a bigger variable here. So I'm going for the Green BRIGHTY series from ADA, including all the additives, and I'm going to make a deep dive on that as well. There is a myriad of additives, so what they all are for, what is the reason to use them or no reason to use them, is it all snake oil? I don't know, or I know, but I will tell you in that upcoming video. So your job is now finally, after all my rambling, to vote which topic I should cover next. Is it lighting? Is it filtration? Is it CO2 injection? Is it the additives? Or is it the automation? Those 5, up to you, okay? Drop the comments down below, hit the like button if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. If you want to support the production, become the member. And this is it. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, gonna see you in the next one.